Manchester United is prepared to go into a bidding war with Manchester City for a midfielder who is considered one of the hottest in Europe. Ederson from Brazil is that partner for Manuel Ugarte that everyone, including Ruben Amorim, feels should be the right guy to join in, most likely in January. My name is Webb. Welcome to the United Sport. Here is a big update ahead of the January transfer window. This winter transfer window, like I've always been saying, it's always difficult to negotiate a deal. You've got to have some good money for you to move a muscle of a player from any club, but this one will certainly give in. Now, listen, this has been confirmed by Fabrizio Romano that indeed Man United is so interested in signing Ederson. And what they have done already, according to reports, is that they have already expressed their interest in signing the player. They have, in fact, have reportedly put in an offer, not a bid. An offer is for you to try and show your interest, and you try to check the waters, to test the waters, and see, okay, are they willing to listen, go into talks with us? So it is believed, and this is according to of course, Court Offside and several other sources close to Fabrizio, who suggests that Man United and Man City have both put in offers. But, of course, the transfer window is not open yet. They will be looking to move further in the January transfer window and make proper bids for the player. And certainly, United feel they need to step it up a bit and be fast because they desperately need this young 25-year-old Brazilian to come in and partner Manuel Ugarte. I'm going to talk about him in a bit, but the situation for now is this boy is priced at about 60 million euros or thereabout. So Man United could be willing to pay up to 50 million pounds, close to 50 million pounds for him, and add on a player. This is at least, I think, one of the most important things that United feel they can do. Remember, United have already publicly made it known that they would invite bids for certain players they are willing to let go, and there are quite many players who are surplus to requirements. So the feeling is Man United could uh, negotiate swap plus cash deals for certain key players they want, and certainly, like I've always been saying, the holding midfield department, a partner for Manuel Ugarte, has always been important. It's going to be an important signing. That could be the only marquee signing Man United could make for Ruben Amorim, or one of the few marquee signings they could make in the next, either in the winter transfer window or in the summer. But Ederson, the 25-year-old, is that this guy is a special player. If you haven't watched him, Ederson is so strong. He's so physical, and he looks more robust in his style. And I think he's a faster version of Manuel Ugarte. I feel he's slightly ahead of Manuel Ugarte in terms of where he is as a player. No wonder he's a European champion, of course, having won the Europa, but also he's slightly older. He's 25. But if you compare the two, I do believe he gives you a little much a little more than Ugarte in terms of what he gives you going forward, because he's more he covers bigger ground with the ball going forward. He's a better shooter to goal. He scores goals. He shoots from a distance. He's good at heading the ball, but has got the defensive discipline to go forward. So he's got that box to box element about him. He has got the energy and pace to go forward and return, and that's the partner you need for Manuel Ugarte. Kobe Maino, why he's not the right player for that is because Kobe does not have the gas, the 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 lungs to run forward robustly and come back. Yet you need such a partner for Manuel Ugarte, because the number 8 is always going to be that kind of player who, yes, gives you defensive cover, but has also got to contribute going forward. Now, Kobe wants to contribute going forward, but he neglects the return, not intentionally, but just by his nature. Probably his lungs have not developed into, being able to sustain going and returning, because the demands of a number 8 are quite much because of that balance you need to give. Go forward and return. The 6, which Ugarte plays, is mostly expected to man that hole, where he's manning the streets, playing the defensive duties. He can go forward when he exchanges with his number 8 and tells him to stay behind. He goes forward and contributes a little, but mostly the roles of a number 6 are just to man that space. But Kobe's number 8, he has got the talent, the skill, the potential, but he has got a long way to go in terms of developing into that player. Remember, he was a striker and he's just being molded into that number 8, that defensive player. So it's not really in him, and I don't feel like that's what he wants to play. I personally keep insisting I don't feel like that's what he wants to play. So what solutions are they coming up with? Bring the perfect partner for Manuel Ugarte to replace to replace probably Casemiro and partner Ugarte for the greater good. So you can imagine, if I can take you back to the partnership that can really give us a semblance of what we would have with Ederson and Ugarte. I think it's what Chelsea had with Essien and Obi Mikel at times when they would play together, Essien and Obi. So that's pretty much what we're trying to build in the middle, because in the 3-4-2-1 system that Amorim loves to play, you need to have those two dependable holding midfielders. The two have got to be dependable. Ugarte and the partner, who should be Ederson in this case, have got to be dependable, because they are the fulcrum on which your attack is built, because that is mostly an attacking system. So if the fulcrum in the middle is firm, your attack will be solid. All the players around, because with the exception of those two, the rest, wing backs are expected to go forward and swing in balls. The strikers are expected to go forward and add to attack and score. These two are supposed to be as firm as they can be. So that's exactly what Amorim is trying to build. But they have got to deal with Man City, who are also quick to try and make moves and get solutions for the Rodri problem that they have got on themselves if they are going to salvage their season. So January might be interesting, but let's wait and see. The beauty with Man United now is that if you're a player like Ederson, honestly, and I do know that players would dream to play under Pep Guardiola, players would want to play for Man City lately in this day and age. But your 25-year-old Ederson, Man United is rebuilding with a brilliant, promising manager or head coach like Ruben Amorim. There is lots of young players in there. You've got an opportunity to go into Man United and immediately be a starter. Why would you choose Man City? With the history Man United has, with what is being done by Ineos, with the future Man United promises to give, why would you choose Man City over Man United? Unless you can't cope with the pressure of playing at the Man United level, because, I mean, with Man United, every move you make is scrutinized on and off the pitch. But I do think, for me, it would be a big-time opportunity for Ederson to join Man United at this point in time. That could be one of the few markets. Like I told you, Amorim's plan is not to sign so many big-name players, but in this regard, I mean, he could be one. That is, Ederson could be one of the few that he could sign. 1, 2, or 3 at most that he could sign and add on the youngins who have already been bought for the club and already trying to develop with the academy. So that's where the transfer business is for Manchester United. So if you ask me, I think when you look at the loss to Bournemouth, the home loss to Bournemouth, the team that Amorim selected should be a semblance of his starting 11 now with the players that he has got. It should be, perhaps you would add in Delete when he's available. I think he's suffering an illness. You probably add in Delete. But my view is that is not so far from the starting 11 he would work with. Now, you just remove elements or individuals from that list and you're getting his starting 11. Remove Zaxi, put Højlund. Remove Kobe, put Ederson. Remove Malaysia, get a left-footed player who will be probably brought in January or perhaps in the summer, and perhaps remove Dalot and get someone on the right, probably push Mazraoui and put Euro or Delete where Mazraoui was. So there seems to be a semblance of a starting 11 for Ruben Amorim. At least we're beginning to see an idea. Now, adding a nearly world-class midfielder like Ederson, adding a proper left wing back, adding a proper right wing back, or get a proper replacement for Dalot, and this Man United can be firing, because with Bruno and Ahmad, you've got a lot of hope in terms of creativity. With Højlund, you're thinking he will develop into that striker that you expect him to be. In the middle, Ugarte and Ederson is solid balance. The Man United backline, in my view, is not really that bad. Yes, I came here and complained about how they went to sleep, for certain goals they conceded. But I do strongly believe Man United's backline is okay. It's decent. It's solid enough. Just add one guy, and it's okay. So I quite don't feel like we are so way off the pace. I feel like this squad needs a few good elements to improve. The beauty is Ruben Amorim is working on their mentality. But the other thing that, of course, has got to be worked on, and I believe they are getting solutions for, is the set piece situation. Carlos Fernandez has got a lot of work to do with these players in terms of helping them deal with set pieces, but also make the best out of them. Defend them, but also make use of them, because you cannot have 12 or 12 so corners and you can't even convert any. It doesn't look good for an elite club. So quite a lot of work to do, but starting off with some signings that could probably add some bit of threat in our middle, and of course give us the balance that we lack when Manuel Ugarte is playing, of course, nearly alone, because when Kobe is there, Ugarte has got to cover bigger ground because of not having the defensive discipline to support him. So that's pretty much what's going on. It's a good morning update, if you ask me, and we do hope that more of such will come. My name is Webb. Like, share, and subscribe to the United of Sport. I will be back later with more transfer talk. Cheers.